Hi, I'm presenting about assignment 4, which is about validation, response entity, and global error handling. So for part B, we are supposed to implement an application for our own situation. So I'm implementing one for a candidate. This is my model for candidate. It has getter and setter. That's from the Lombok. And then there's annotation to to limit the value and print the message if the value exceeds the the settings. The controller gets the mapping from the front end. So I have a get mapping here that gets all the candidate in the database, and a post mapping which allows us to add candidate to the database. This is the business logic for the candidate. We don't have a real database here, so we just use a list instead. I have a function to add candidate, which set the ID to next ID and add the candidate into the list, and then return the candidate. Here there's another function to get all the candidate. So the candidate service just now returns the candidate, and here I get the candidate here as saved and send it to front end using response entity with the HTTP status of created. I also have a global exception handler which get other method argument not valid exception. It handles it by mapping out the error, getting the error, getting all the error, save it, and then save it in a hash map. Sorry. Here it defines a hash map, and then we look through the error. For each error, we set the field name to error get field and the error message to the get default message, and then put the error into the hash map that we defined, and then it's returned to the response entity as a bad request with all the errors listed. Here I try to execute get candidates, and as expected there's no candidate here, so I'll try to post a candidate. So here's the code, HTTP status code for created. I'll try to get the candidates again, and here it is. I'll try to put another candidate. Here, the maximum value for age is 100, and the phone must be valid, which must have numbers. I'll try add some text alphabet here and try to execute it. As expected, I get a error of with status code 400, which means bad request, and in the response body I get the errors listed like the phone must be valid and age must not exceed 100. That's all for assignment 4. Thank you.